Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be a Twin Flame reading. I was channeling into the Twin Flame Collective the last couple of days. I received a lot of downloads from Archangel Metatron as to where the Divine Masculine is at, and so I did want to jump on and share these messages with you. So I've been shown like this new creative spark. The Ace of Wands keeps showing up in my third eye like crazy. So aces are all about creation, creative energy, a new passionate spark. And so I feel this gateway has opened in order for the masculine to honor his personal self-expression recently. And so a lot of new creativity coming through, and I feel this is where the masculine gets rooted in a new direction. And so this primal life force energy, I feel, has recently been activated for many of the divine masculines. And so this energy with all of these cosmic transits really are supporting this potential to manifest anything without limitations. And so this will require individual expression, though, on the divine masculine's part, and that will require an interaction with the divine feminine. And so I do feel, you know, with all of that scorpionic energy, Venus in Scorpio, Mercury in Scorpio, the masculine's been deep in that underworld with Hades. And so this is where all creation begins, is in the darkness, is in the void. And so I do feel a lot of these masculines have been utilizing their independent free will choices, but I feel divine will is now superseding those free will choices. And so I feel that full moon eclipse energy came in and exalted the feminine from the contract. And this was divine timing, right? Timing is everything when it comes to these divine counterpart unions. And so I feel this is a very special time for the Twin Flame Collective. And I feel there's been a lot of instability surrounding the masculine, which has led to a lot of distortions in his life recently. And so patience truly was the divine feminine's virtue in the journey, as the masculine has to face all of these negative vices as part of this revolution for our human existence. And so there's been a lot of instability, and I feel the feminine's love is the light right now, shining this light brightly on the divine masculine. And so as Venus now has shifted into Sagittarius, I feel Venus, the symbol of beauty, love, finances, the feminine has been exalted now that Venus has shifted into Sagittarius. And so the feminine has reached this requirement of harmony and balance. I feel that 0 point of polarity has now been established. The feminine is deeply rooted in her spiritual values, her spiritual ideas and ideals. And I feel this really is enriching a new level of inspiration. And so you might have been finding the energy very lethargic, cathartic the last couple of days. And so this was to release any underlying conditioning or distorted programming, and so we can fully step into that self-expression. And so this has really triggered this new desire, this new passion for the masculine to have his place in the collective with the divine feminine, but it's been at the expense of this materialism and greed, right? And so all of these limitations are fueling this newfound desire and passion to sustain, to help the feminine sustain this creative work. And so this materialistic world the masculine's been in has really disrupted his inner being, his soul. And I do feel Mars going through this retrograde is getting to this place of exalting the masculine from this materialistic force that's been driving him forward. And so a lot of disruptions from this over ambition of materialism. And so I do feel profound revelations have been coming forward for many of the divine masculines, and this deep need for them to honor their self-expression. And so I do feel a lot of them have been feeling very much alone, isolated. Even if they're surrounded by people, it's this deep sense of aloneness and solitude surrounding the masculine. as the feminine's inner light is creating all of this internal tension. And so we came here to exalt the earth, to exalt Mother Gaia from this karmic cycle of destruction. And so as we each individually shift our personal perspectives and we manifest our outer heaven on earth, we are here to be these great influencers to teach others of the potential magic of our inspiration and where these karmic negative forces has diluted our power. And so we are here to develop our creativity. We are here to develop the outside influence we bring forward to others within the collective. And so there's a lot of potential magic being inspired as we break free from these diluted negative forces. And so I feel there is a need to address where the masculine abandoned the feminine, and this is why he's in this energy of aloneness, to understand the depths of pain that the feminine had to go through in that abandonment, and where the masculine has been limiting his own creative life force energy. And so we have the energy to attract all of these people, but the masculine is going to have to exalt this powerful ego domination. He's going to have to endure all of these challenges if he is to return to this creative process with the divine feminine. And so I feel all of this Uranus energy working in the background, really destroying all of these handicaps that the masculine has had to endure on the journey. And I do feel this deep attractiveness towards the feminine, and that really is what is restoring the masculine's drive to take action, I feel. And so it's this energy of we truly have withstood the test of time, going through this very intense separation, coming to terms with the fact that we are never, ever truly separate. And so I feel this reassessment taking place for many of the masculines and the energies when it comes to the creative value that they hold collectively as well, and a lot of clarity coming forward. Is this energy of risk taking, but there's this deep fear that taking this risk will result in ultimate disappointment if the feminine were to reject the masculine. And so a lot of frustration coming through, a lot of frustration for sure. And so I was taken to the realm of Sirius in this astral meditation a couple of nights ago. Like, it took me forever to come back down from that very intense energy. There was a lot of other things going on in my physical reality as well. The man that I've been currently casually dating for the last several months, he received some very upsetting news. And so I kind of carried that weight yesterday on my chest and had to sit with that energy as well. And so I do feel it's this energy of accepting death. And there was actually a death in this man's life. His brother was found deceased unexpectedly, a very young age of 38. And so there is this very heavy death energy surrounding the collective as well, I feel, in order to activate the throat center, the throat chakra. And I do feel there's this drive and this deep need to really finally step into expressing ourselves fully, right? That authentic expression. And so I feel the masculine is deeply concerned because right now I don't feel he's at his best in life right now. And he's really been comparing all of his negative traits with, people that he should not be comparing himself to. And so if the masculine wants to live out his truest nature, he's going to have to authentically come forward towards the feminine. He's going to have to stop absorbing all of these negative karmic energies, and he's going to have to learn that it's okay to do his own thing, to go his own way. And I feel now the masculine's been bringing this into his awareness, where he has been attracting all of this negative attention from others because he's been so afraid of being true to himself, true to this twin flame creative process of what we are here to do, how we are here to do it, and the great impact we are here to bring forward for the collective. And so I feel this new way, this new world order is coming in as we consider all of these new perspectives. And so it's like a change in creative direction taking place, a lot of new creative inspiration. I feel as the feminine leads by example, this truly does have an impact on the divine masculine. He is feeling it. I feel he wants to come in and properly show his appreciation to the unconditional love that you have held for him and the space that you've held for him while he goes through this intense life transformation. And I feel he now knows that he has to come forward. He has to know that you have been seen, that you have been heard, and this will require a face-to-face interaction. And so I do feel a lot of the masculines are not feeling very attractive at this time when it comes to bringing forward some communication, but they are deeply drawn to the feminine, and I feel they are getting to a place of being better equipped or in a better position to be able to come forward. And I feel they've been very receptive of the feminine's energy recently, and they know that it is time to take root, to take action, to release the illusion of this separateness. And so the masculines have been holding on to this illusion of us being separate when we've always been connected. We are never ever separate. And so a lot of sensitivity to the disharmony in his life right now. And, you know, releasing that overimportance of all of this status quo aesthetic that he's held on to. And so it's like asserting the healthy side of the ego. You know, a lot of the masculines have been very spiteful because the feminine has been so open and willing to share the wisdom of the journey. And this is creating this urge for action that he can no longer ignore. It's like the wisdom of the higher self is overriding the assertion of the ego to stay stuck in these patterns. And a lot of these masculines have such cosmic creative genius thinking processes that they're here to bring forward. And so it's bringing the unconscious into the conscious. And so a lot of these masculines have been unlearnable in the past, and they've been so out of alignment when it comes to their natural responses. And so to find that inner strength, to focus on what's been realized, and, you know, unlearning everything that they knew and stepping into a new state of knowing and being. And so I feel a lot of the masculines, as they're coming into this cosmic genius, it is very maddening in the mind space. It's like utter mental madness surrounding the masculine right now. And so this is because they've chose to enhance the ego. And so it's this disillusionment, right, taking place, and knowledge truly is power. And so it is also this energy of patience for the feminine, because we as teachers never also stop being a student of life. And so it is about mastering the dedication of this lifetime mission, being receptive to the messages coming through and stepping into emotional maturity and acceptance. And so, and this acceptance that this process never ever ends. It is an ongoing cycle of the teacher always being a student for life. And so I feel a reconnection, go into the beat of the heart of the feminine, and rewards for the services rendered, recognition of this lifelong process. And so I feel we're at a revolutionary point on the journey. The feminine's patience really has paid off, and all of these negative vices are bringing in this higher knowing that can no longer wait, that can no longer be denied, and the energy is demanding the masculine be open with communication. All of this secretiveness below the surface, you know, all of this lack of discretion is coming forward. And so the higher goal right now for the twins is to transcend the personal ego, right? The masculine's really not been a team player when it comes to this mission work. And so the feminine, I feel, has acknowledged her leadership position, but it's really hard to drive that ship full steam ahead without the captain of the ship, which would be the divine masculine. And so, you know, a lot of the feminines have this higher knowing, and we've been expressing it, and we've been waiting for this recognition. And what I want to say is loose lips sink ships. So there's been some loose lips around the masculine. I think there's been a lot of gossip, a lot of slander, a lot of defamation surrounding the masculine in order to ignite this unquenchable fire towards the feminine. And so his ego has definitely been endangered by these loose lips that are sinking that false ship. And I feel the karmic just is not able to keep silent. She's just blasting people left, right, and center. And so this is where the masculine is going to have to be strategic. And now that Mercury is about to enter into Sag, I feel another level of exaltation, another level of higher knowing, in order for the masculine to re-strategize coming forward. And so, you know, there's been this lack of sharing responsibility and recognizing his own personal abilities. And so I do feel, you know, the masculine's been in this very selfish process of fixation. And I feel the mirror is no longer going to be able to be avoided. He's no longer going to be able to not see the whole picture. In the past, he wasn't able or unwilling to look at the bigger picture, the whole picture. And now with Mercury being exalted tomorrow, all of these negative reflections that have become absorbed in the masculine is bring forward a major realization that, you know, this extremely narrow pathway needs to be released. This need for security really has distorted his true awareness. And I feel all of these karmic perversions of destructiveness really has led the masculine down this self-absorbed pathway. And he's in the mundane, the secure, safe place of mundane living. And we're not here to live a mundane life. And so this higher knowing, this rerouting of direction towards self-love and towards beauty, towards the feminine. It's like this magnetic energy in order to focus movement towards the feminine. So it's this energy of traveling through time and space, understanding the build of the blueprint design of these cosmic activations that the twins share, and a new sense of inner direction. This might even require a new geological or geographic location, picking up and moving homes for the masculine. And so they cannot change the direction of their mind if they're not willing to adhere to divine will. And they've been going in the wrong direction for some time. And so now I feel it's this coming to the parting of ways with the karmic once and for all, and getting in that driver's seat and going in a new direction. And so I feel the masculine's trying to fuel up as he moves in a new direction and comes towards the feminine. There's this deep draw within the sacral center to go towards the feminine. And I feel, even though they've held on to the false contract because of the resources that they needed, it is now time to support this creative endeavor with the divine feminine and to align to his true direction and empowerment. And I feel to confirm to the feminine that it was always you is what I'm hearing. And so, you know, we are here to be visionaries. We are here to pave that new way forward for the collective. And so now it's really time to do the work and to make it happen is kind of what I'm feeling. So we're going to jump in with some cards, guys. I'm going to start off with the senses of the soul deck today. Oh, look at that white star. I embrace freedom and honor those that have come before me. And so this is a very high ascension energy, the white star, 68. So that would break down to 14. So I do feel we're stepping into this energy of cosmic, karmic freedom. I'm going to read the white star out of the book, but we're going to see what other energies need to come through when it comes to these energies. So trusting in the divine blueprint. So I did keep the white star out on the deck, guys. And then we just got, look at this, like all the blending of the chakras. So I trust in the divine blueprint of my life. Dwarf Korean lilac. I love the smell of lilacs. All right, what do we got now? I am worthy and deserving of good things. And then on the bottom of the deck, mugwort. I synthesize divine guidance. And so a lot of energies have been synthesizing. There's been a lot of restructuring of the cellular DNA of the light body activations. And so fours are all about foundations. There is divine protection as we go through this shift. And I do feel coming in to this knowledge of the magical inner child from within. And so embracing his shadow self with love and compassion, and trusting in the divine blueprint. That's interesting. I talked about the twin flame blueprint and then that come out. And so this is a silver energy. So the white star is actually the very last card in the deck, which is indicating ascension. And so I do feel a lot of spiritual energies pertaining to the 12th chakra. And that's interesting. I was taken to the 12th dimension, into the 12th chakra with Archangel Metatron Monday evening. And so I do feel the masculine has gone into the crowning of euphoria and elation of this union, and getting to a place of gratitude through this newfound awareness is what I'm feeling. And so the energies really are working to bring forward this highly increased spiritual sensitivity for the divine masculine. A lot of angelic presence has been surrounding the twins recently, and there's a lot of guidance from spirit pushing the masculine forward. We've been working very closely with many of the ascended masters that came before us, and so addressing these negative patterns of anxiety, fear of judgment, releasing that resentment and that energy of feeling defeated as we go through these cycles over and over again. And so it is this cosmic support to reorient the masculine's life stories from his core self to get to a higher place of consciousness. And so I feel creating more peace and ease on the journey in our lives, and the masculine is being called to awaken on every level of awareness in order to heal into a state of wholeness. And so the energies really are facilitating this huge clearing of all of this karmic debris, and a lot of reorganizing of the human psyche for the divine masculine. And so with this, I feel the masculine has been gifted divine discernment, and he is learning to discriminate between egoic desires and healthy desires. And so releasing the destructive desires and stepping into service of others. And so this realization that no human is an island, and that we are here to work together, and that he is here to cooperate with the divine feminine for the general good of humanity. And so achieving alignment on this co-creation journey is what I'm feeling. And so total equanimity is being restored. So we will be able to live in harmony and grace in a very difficult world that we are facing right now. And so this is the Holy Trinity union of self, the Holy Trinity union of the twin flame energy, the source of all creation. And so a lot of soul and divinity remembrance has been taking place, a deep, higher heart opening, activation of this deep compassion and love that we do share together. And so renewal and ascendance, ascending. So a lot of ancient knowledge, I feel a lot of cosmic knowledge has been activated, that soul star chakra. And this is directly linked to the divinity of the divine masculine. And so coming to terms with the fact that he is worthy of things that are, you know, good in his life. And so I do feel, you know, he's very much self-sabotaged the aspect of his inner shaman. He's refused to see his own shadow. And so he's been unconsciously sabotaging his life with this rejection of the part of him that yearns to be with the feminine. And so a reformation of his consciousness, accessing this truth. And so all of these karmic obstructions that have hindered self-empowerment and his ability to access this divine truth and inner knowing has been transmuted. And so all of those hidden aspects have been brought to light in order for healing and acceptance is kind of what I'm feeling. And so the energy is facilitating the masculine really understanding that he can no longer stay on that karmic pathway. So a lot of karmic freedom, a lot of shadow healing, soul retrieval, spiritual death and rebirth has been taking place. And so coming to a place of self-worth and deservingness of this love. And so I do feel the masculine's belief in the past was that he did not deserve the love from the feminine, and he did not deserve to receive the goodness in his life that she was trying to bring forward. And so I feel he's learning to not be so hard on himself. He's learning to treat himself with kindness and compassion, and to know that, yes, he is worthy of this divine masculine role with the feminine, and releasing that role of the victim, where he has been denying loving himself, which resulted in denying loving the feminine, all because he didn't simply feel worthy of even being alive. And so opening the heart to all of this eternal light has been going on for many of the masculines. So I know in the daily message, the dragon energy came up. And so we're going to pull in with the dragon oracle deck today as well and see what other messages need to come through for the divine masculine, because I do feel he is facing that inner dragon. White gold dragon from Lyra. And so this is where the masculine is connected to these higher Christ light code activations. So Mother Mary, Jesus energy, and then we get the crystal yellow dragon. And so opening up to this higher learning and this higher wisdom. So a lot of expansion and illumination in the crown chakra has taken place over the coming days. So if you've noticed a lot of upper chakra pressure or headaches, it is due to this walking of the higher spiritual path. And I do feel developing the chakra pathway. So bathing in this 9th dimensional Christ light has been going on. And on the bottom of the deck, the golden Christed dragon, more Christ code activations bring the masculine into this higher state of unconditional love so he himself can embody the Christ light like the feminine has embodied the Sophia code. And so absorbing all of this Christ consciousness, this Christ light, the masculine is so divinely protected as he expands his heart and remains rooted in 5th dimensional consciousness. And then we get the Saturnian dragon, the black dragon from Saturn. And so Saturn is all about structure and order. And what I want to say is congratulations, twin flames. We have passed the test. We have passed the test of time. All of this wisdom is coming through, and now we are getting rooted in spiritual discipline, and Saturn energy is coming in to root this, to reconcentrate the energy so we can focus on our ultimate vision. And so we can create this foundation for new growth, new earth. A fresh start is just around the corner. New opportunities and harvest of this unlimited abundance. And so let's jump in with the tarot and see what else. Look at High Priestess, 9 of Coins reversed. So this is bringing through a couple of messages. I feel the masculine is deep within the darkness of all of these mysteries. I also feel he can see clearly the divine feminine as the High Priestess. 2s are all about decisions and crossroads, and I feel, you know, there was fear of being alone for the masculine, and so they went into these toxic codependent cycles, but I also feel fear of giving up a level of independence, and I feel secretly wanting to come in and give up that level of independence in order to go towards the divine feminine, walking away as well from a very codependent situation. And so there's that Saturn energy coming through again in Pisces. And so breaking free from the illusions that kept the masculine from walking the spiritual journey, whatever's kept the masculine from stepping into authenticity is all being walked away from at this point in time. So we're going to see what the masculine's current energy is. So right now he's in this energy of, you know, feeling like his wishes are not being granted. So, so there is that ending of the false contract that was rooted purely on materialism and greed. 10s are ending, 10s are completion. Definitely a disconnect, right? Taurus energy, releasing the false foundation. I also feel the masculine is losing faith, losing hope. Likely could be experiencing total financial ruin. We get the 9 of Cups in reversed, and I also feel coming to this realization of he gave up ultimate abundance with the feminine. The feminine was a gift. The feminine was a gift to the masculine, and he went into the realm of addictions, codependencies. I feel there is a need to expand beyond that illusion. We get the Jupiter energy coming through. And more Pisces, and so breaking free from the illusion. And the masculine is deep within some pain, some heartbreak, and definitely feeling the separation and the ending. So I feel the feminines really have done a good job of separating, knowing that there is no separation, coming to that zero polarity. As the feminine reaches a state of balance, the masculine is going deep within the painful separation of this union in order to lay that new foundation. So the masculine's deep within some sorrow, some grief, some heartbreak over this missed opportunity. Oh yeah. Wow. We get the Ace of Coins reversed, the Ace of Cups in reverse, and the Three of Coins in reverse. And so that was the refusal of the call, right? The refusal to take action, to collaborate with the Divine Feminine. I do feel a huge heart chakra activation, a realization of this big loss. And so the 10s, I said, reach down to the 1. And so huge loss of fortune is what I feel. The masculine's huge loss of fortune. And then we get the 3 Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Is that 4 of Pentacles in reverse? A huge release of the burden that's been carried on the heart for a very long time. And so I feel the masculine's emotions are all over the place. With the 9 and the Ace, we get the 10 of Cups in reverse. So the loss of ultimate fulfillment is now coming into his realization. And there's that 4 of Pentacles in reverse. I also feel walking away from a loveless situation. And he's been misguided by falsehoods. I feel a lot of challenges surrounding the masculine. He's deep within the fire, walking through the fire for this rebirth process. More Saturn energy. A lot of these masculines were very prideful, very egoic, and they were led astray by misguided falsehoods. And there's that walking away of the false contract where things are no longer working. I feel a lot of arguing, a lot of belittling, a lot of back and forth with karmic social circle. There's been a lot of fighting and a lot of challenges, a lot of fighting between the head and the heart going on, and choosing to walk away, to shed the old, to bring in the new, and breaking free from that toxic cycle. Feeling like a rat in a cage is what I'm feeling. So we'll get potential near future energies here. Oh my God. So wow. And so finally feeling the depths of the betrayal that he put the feminine through with the 10 of Swords, the 10 of Cups reversed, and the Queen of Wands. So I do feel seeing clearly the karmic feminine and the betrayal and the immature energies that he was sitting in, right? A lot of immaturity. And I do feel there's been some form of betrayal on the karmic's behalf. And so it's the energy of what goes around comes around. So I do feel what the masculine put the feminine through. Now the karmic has done that to the masculine in order for the masculine to fully understand what he did to the feminine, what he put her through. And I do feel there's been a lot of immature, vindictful energy surrounding the masculine. But this is where the masculine realizes his wicked ways, I feel. You know, he was coming in, playing games. And now I feel a valuable lesson in commitment. And so I do feel that situation has reached completion, that is over. A lot of the masculines held on because of the memories, was deep in the underworld of some past life nostalgia. And coming out of this self-sabotaging behavior, that karmic contract is over. There's been some type of exposure. So is there any last messages? Yeah, so that is done. And I do feel the masculine is moving beyond. And so there's no more passion there. There's been a lot of emotional manipulation. There's no spark. There's no love. I feel the karmic is also experiencing a very painful ending. But ultimately, Jupiter is about to go direct next week, and these connections will be moving forward. So all of that stuckness, all of that internal transformation of going through this internal expansion, when Jupiter goes direct, we are stepping into luck and fortune, and things will be moving forward. And so right now, the masculine, yeah, I do feel the karmic and the masculine are very much both hurting. I feel there's been the shattering of the illusions. I feel the masculine's no longer emotionally invested over there. And I also feel he's deep within his emotions, going through an emotional breakdown. And so it's been this battle between, I feel a lot of the masculines were like this little lapdog for the karmic, and you know, do this, jump here, do that, and they listened to everything the karmic said. They really gave up a level of independence. A lot of these masculines were like this lone wolf energy. They didn't want to give up their independence. They got wrapped up in a toxic karmic cycle, and then they became this lapdog. And so integrating the two energies, getting to a balance from within. And so more Pisces, Cancer energy. And I do feel shattering that illusion. And I do feel releasing the fear of coming in for an emotional apology. I just want to look into this King of Cups a little bit deeper here. So yeah, this is to balance the karmic scales. And so I do feel the masculine was facing all kinds of accusations and challenges, and I feel he's giving up the fight, giving up the battle, and all of this was to balance the scales in order to allow the masculine to come in with that reciprocation. And so moving on from a very distorted, manipulative situation, and victory. Victory is here, and I've got all kinds of goosebumps on the feminine side of my body. And so coming through as that victor after a period of struggle and war, and so really coming in as that true hero is kind of what I'm feeling. And that's kind of what I got for an update for the twin flames. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, check out the description box below, guys. And I do look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.